The world is so vain, stuck in a material chain. Relax and travel my plane of lyrical pain. Hip-hop feels the strain, the rappers pulling her down the drain. It's plain to see the average MC can't hang. The mentals reign, the mitros flow, groove nice and slow. Hip-hop foes, crushed like tomatoes. Red juice goes out your body with a weak rap that's sloppy. No philosophy, voices urge me to stop the tragedy. So I be the one to do work as the knowledge clerk. Align the senses, need to enhance this with a small twist to assist minds and leaving the physicals mix. Cause difficult is my lyric for them to get. Higher intellect, have respect, my spirit has come to correct. I bet real hip-hoppers think I'm correct. Ignorance, I disinfect, my people's pain I connect. Smooth the voices select, the truth my rhythmic internet. The voices of lyrical pain. The voices of lyrical pain. The voices of lyrical pain will remain. Whack MCs are slain. The voices of lyrical pain will remain. Purify hip-hop's domain. Man, no math in my dome. It's like I'm never alone. At a party or at home, stand a lyrical stone. Voices built in chromosomes remain hard like stones. Clones, keys make hip-hop ignition freeze. Best ease off my hip-hop and watch the India drop. Thought patterns high, smother styles on top. Throwing up or non-stop with many options and ways to rock. I build and destroy for my resurrection and my mental perfection. Charges I'm catching as it's hop I'm undressing. Raveling ears and getting thoughts as a lyrical expression. Magnetic ears that interferes with negative atmosphere. Surrounded by close peers. I got body who cares about all the people out there. Heed the message in your ear. Creator's the only one to fear. Those lost get near. The truth moves untouched if the spirit you clutch. Pain is a must until you rise from the dust. The voices.
What's up, Facebook, YouTube, tweet, all of them, what's going on? We have another episode, Sunday edition, going down the rabbit hole. We're going to go through, key number 110, the 10th key of Enoch. There's 64 in all. We just been kind of going over them. This key is really gonna try to break down the different spiritual dimensions, how the patterns of light work, how the mantras work, words of power that you can use, how the higher evolution mixes with the lower evolution, which is us. With all that spirit in our mind and our soul, mix it down here with us, how it happens. We're going to talk about the chakras. We're going to talk about fallen earths like ours. We're going to talk about earths that haven't fallen, that are on the divine plan. All right. So we're going to get deep into the rabbit hole. But before I go there, I was talking with Miss Visa earlier when she had one of her podcasts, and we were just sitting there talking about meditation. And on here, we've talked about a lot about, going inside of self and actually talking to self, your higher self, the best you, the God in you. And you can have conversations. You just don't realize who you talking to when you talking to yourself. So I had this conversation and was talking about I meditate and I do a restraint breath. So I kind of hold the oxygen in the air from the air by restraining my stomach, that nemogastric nerve. That nerve sends a energy spurt up to the pineal gland, activates it for higher activity. So I do that. And, but the spirit was saying, the reason we was having you do this type of meditation every day, because it's the intake. So when I visualize, say, the spleen chakra, the stomach chakra, which is yellow, I'd visualize the yellow. I'd burst forth through myself with yellow, covering the whole neighborhood. Then I'd say the rain, which is the mantra for that, and I'd absorb it. And as it goes out, and right before when I breathe out, I bring it all in. And it was talking about how that in-breath, how the visualization and bringing that in-breath in through colors and sound, how it can energize you, keep you young, keep you from getting sick. All right. Just wanted to share that little piece real quick. Still waiting for my guests to come on board. Pretty sure they'll be here in a minute. But like I said, we're talking about the book of Enoch. Can you see it? There we go. The book of Enoch, the book of knowledge, the keys of Enoch. Yuhe Hebrew, fire letters. Those are the little, supposed to represent your 7 chakras. Who's it by? Where is it at? There we go. J.J. Herrick, the Academy for Future Science. So, just science, 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 and more science for you. All right, so just going to continue. I wanted to go over chapter 10, Violetta. What is it? The key language of connectivity, the time warps to the connecting civilizations and the manifestation of higher evolution in our time zone of the Egyptian, Hebrew, Sanskrit, Tibetan, Chinese. What is it saying? It's talking about the word and how these words that we say actually have spiritual meaning. All right, I'm going to read it to you again. The language is connecting the mind time warps. What does it do? Connects the mind to different time warps. These time warps are different time zones. So these are these information downloads where you see something that isn't around us, but you see it like it's right in front of you. These are these downloads that we get. All right, these time warps to the interconnecting civilizations and manifestations of who? Higher evolution. What is higher evolution? Higher evolution is your highest self. It's the operating of not just the physical planet, but galaxies, universes, a collection of universes. Higher evolution, how these things are happening, how everything that we see, think, touch, all this goes into who we are and what we are in the manifestation of this physical form, which is necessary for us to learn. All right, let me keep going. So it manifests into the higher evolution in our time zone. So it's letting you know that there are different time zone, parallel universes. Different things are going on at different frequencies. If you can vibrate your body at a different frequency, which you do when you go into deep meditation, you go into a whole new realm. All right. So saying that. All right. Where are we at? The Enoch carefully instructed me. Remember, this is the book of Enoch, the one that's supposed to went to the stars out and got trained by higher evolution. And this is what Enoch brought back. All right. That's why it's called the book of knowledge. Enoch's keys. Keys to what? Keys to the meat suit. Keys to this physical environment. Keys to how to figure out the mind, the emotion, the body. Opening up the soul. Keys to healing. Keys to living. All that. So Enoch carefully instructed me to use the language of the Egyptian and Chinese to unify all the biochemical languages working on the horizontally in the body. The Sanskrit and the Tibetan fire letters were to unify all the biochemical languages working vertically in the human body. So it's talking about a horizontal and it's talking about a vertical. All right. What does that mean? It's talking about the languages of the body, the right and the left hemisphere, how they function, how the word in the beginning was the what? The word. So this word means something. So when we're speaking things, these things mean something. These words coming out of your mouth, your intent behind it, all that means something, whether you're aware of it or not. Okay, so let's keep going. So you had the Chinese, the Egyptian, the Sanskrit, the Tibetan, and the Hebrew fire letters are the sacred energy sounds, thought forms of light, capital L light. Hey, dear.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, what's good? What's good? Just getting into it.
Okay.
In the beginning was the word, so I'm just gonna recap real quick for you, real quick. There go Jazzy Fizzle. But Boy, y'all be on timing together, boy, I tell you. But just a quick recap, we kind of just went over, we're going on the 10th key of Enoch, the book of knowledge. The key languages are connecting the mind time warp to the interconnecting civilizations and the manifestations of higher evolution in our time zone as the Egyptian, Hebrew, Sanskrit, Tibetan, Chinese. So it's working on the word. We're about to talk about in the beginning was the word, Jazzy. Now we about to talk about why this word is so important. Okay. The things that come out of our mouth. All right. So we're going to go back. The key languages are connecting the mind time warp. What is a mind time warp? That's these downloads. That's when we go to other spots, these daydreams. That's when Bobby Hammett and Brother Panic go off to a whole nother realm. That's these time warps, okay? Because we're in a certain time zone. If we start vibrating faster than we are now, like we do in meditation, we come up off this time zone and we can go to other places. Astral projecting, okay? That's all we're talking about. So we're talking about the very basics of what's going on. So it says the Egyptian Chinese language was to unify all the biochemical languages working with the horizontally in the human body. The Sanskrit and the Tibetan fire letters were to unify all the biochemical languages working vertically within the human body. The Hebrew fire letters, the sacred energy sounds, the thought forms of capital L light, is to connect the intelligence of Pleiades and Orion by uniting all the Christine languages of the third eye so as to open the template of the mind for eternal light. I said a lot. We're going to go back and slow this down so we can hear it correctly. This is why at one point when we went to Egypt, we learned all the languages, all the sciences. They were called the Egyptian mystery schools. We were there for 40 years, not just no punk 6 or 4 or 10, 40. And when you left, you knew all the known sciences, everything that there was to know. This was the Egyptian mystery schools back in Egypt. All right. So this is why this stuff is so important. This is why they have splintered it. So you got the Chinese, you got the Tibetan, you got the Sanskrit. I've studied all of them. I didn't know I was studying all of them to bring them back together, but that's just how the truth works. You know what I'm saying? Each of them were interesting in their own way. You got something, Ms. Visa? Oh. Can you hear? Oh, she must be frozen. But you got it, Jazzy?
I'm listening. I'm here.
Okay, so you got the Egyptian and the Chinese that unified the vertical, the horizontal part of the body. That's that Christ symbol. Here we go again. Then you got the Sanskrit and the Tibetan fire letters that unify the biochemical languages working vertically in the body, up and down. So now you got the vertical, and you got the horizontal, right? Then the Hebrew fire letters, the sacred energy sounds. That's your hung, bang, okay, rain. These are all coming forth from the vital. When in the beginning was the word, these words were said to start the vibration, to start the whole Big Bang theory. Because before that, there was nothing. Everything was in darkness. Then the word came through and the word started that vibration, that frequency, that disruption of subjective energy and made it objective energy. Stars started being born, explosions of planets and all that. All right. So, and what is these fire letters? What are they connecting us to? They're connecting us to the thought forms of light, conscious light that dwells within us. All right, it connects us to the intelligence of Pleiades and Orion. Pleiades was the physical form, how our bodies got down here. These black bodies inherited goes to the sun. And Orion, our spiritual, our soul in us. This is how we were transported, got a body from Pleiades, got our spirit and our soul, got down into these physical bodies through Orion down here. So now we're getting the programming to lift us off this physical realm back into centropy, the electrification of matter. No such thing as death. Even in entropy, this decay is surrounded by centropy. That's why they keep talking about death is so great and so good and all this and all, but no one wants to die. Because they don't go into why it is that way. All right. So let me keep going. These languages form the grid connecting the higher I am, the higher consciousness of I am, with the light of the human consciousness of light through the cosmic light vibration. So it's saying higher evolution is already connected to us through our soul and our mind. When we think higher, when we think non-earthly, when we think alien, when we see a world of peace, when we see it in our mind, even though we can't see it out here. That's the I am of higher consciousness, capital H, a consciousness, with the I am of the light of the human consciousness. That's them downloads. Once again, when you start dwelling in a higher frequency. All right. Spiritual man is to understand that the grid is formed by the languages which create the horizontal and the vertical energy patterns. And these in turn activate the divine Hebrew created by the fused light force by imprinting the divine fire letters or energy sounds upon the vertical and the horizontal grid. This is why we use mantras. This is why we go into meditation and we use words of power. Okay, this is why this is so important. This is in the Medu Netter. It teaches you what words of power are, which words of power to use, why you use a certain words of power. The whole tree of life in its 10 safras or its 10 chambers breaks down into the 7 of the chakras in the human body. Right. Everything is one thing. Nothing stands outside of something else. Once you get the whole body of knowledge, that's why it takes so long for us to get to the realm of knowing, get to a realm where we can be like, oh my God, okay, now I understand, because this shit is strange, difficult, and without the inner spirit in you that is helping you and propelling you for the truth, you will never get it, because it's going to come in and start showing you the things you forgot that you didn't think you needed, but was the key pieces to the puzzle. Right. Go ahead, Ms. Visa, what'd you say?
I just said right. You're right.
Right, because it's going to start from within. You can read all you want, but until that inner spirit of truth start pieces it together, helping you because you want to know, then it starts to manifest and take shape. So a lot of this is what it's just saying. It's the inner language that we talk within us. Now it's more of that inner talk, those affirmations, putting in your headphones, you're a God, and going to sleep. Activating these things in us. It's just talking about at a multi-language barrier as far as using all the languages. We don't need to do that anymore. That's not necessary. Now you only need to tell yourself who you are.
Right.
Ain't that something? Remind yourself who you are.
Yep.
But you got to know who you are. And who you ain't. So I'm gonna keep going. The interchange, the horizontal patterns connect the mental energies that are part of the interchange of knowledge with the intermediate life situation on the planet of human experience. Here we go. The horizontal patterns connect the mental energies that are a part of the interchange of knowledge on this realm with this immediate life station on the plane of the human experience. The interchange goes on within through series of light pictographs. These are actual pictures. These are the things we see when we're in our deep meditation. Like it's a film going in front of us, like we're there, but it's a film, like what's going on? These are the pictographs, mental pictographs from higher evolutions. That's why they look the way they look. Keep going, okay. Oh, the interchange goes on within a series of light pictographs which allow the multi-level of external knowledge to be internalized and rapidly encoded beyond that which is usually spoken. This would go with if you knew hieroglyphics, how a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. That's what they're talking about. But now they're not even talking about a hieroglyphic. They're talking about a mental pictograph, moving picture.
Hmm.
All right. And what
But
is
I
it
think
telling you? Go ahead.
so. What I was taught is that the subconscious mind speaks in symbols anyway. So
Facts.
so the pictograph
Uh-huh.
are you saying that is the language of your subconscious mind to communicate with the conscious, or trying to um know itself? I should say know itself.
Once you get past the basic symbols, you start to get to these light pictographs, which are actually your highest communication you can have
Right,
on this
right,
realm with yourself. Because
right,
now it's not just a picture, it's a whole story. It's a whole movie
right, right,
that you digest like that. Because time doesn't exist anymore. So now
right.
you get these downloads infinite. Boom, everything it was trying to tell you all at once. As far as us being in this time of space and time, just like that. It's a whole different level of communication.
Okay, okay.
When I
Does it
hear
make sense?
this, when
Go
I
ahead,
hear this,
Jazzy.
it make me feel like I'm looking. Remember the kaleidoscope things when you look through,
Uh-huh.
and it's got all of the different angles of light. You know, when you're looking through there, and you know, getting a mental picture focusing on and getting a picture of it. It kind of remind me of that.
So those are the horizontal energy patterns going through your mouth. I mean, through your body, right? Now we're going to move into the vertical patterns. Here's the cross. This is what keeps us tuned into what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. But it has its purpose. The vertical patterns, which form the connecting links from the lower dimension of sensory awareness through this plane of experience into the higher dimension that are of the infinite quality of joy. I'm gonna say it again. So the vertical patterns, what do they can do? They connect the low to the high and unburdened. It's all the way through. The energy's coming all the way through. The vertical patterns form the connecting links from the lower dimensions of sensory awareness. What looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. Through this plane of experience into higher dimensions that are of an infinite quality of joy. Not a little joy, not some joy, not just a dab of joy. Infinite. This is why Jazzy said, I'll never go back. Once you taste it, it's like a drug. Like, oh my God, where has this been? It's the best thing I've ever tasted.
Since
The
sliced
freshest
bread.
thing I've ever read.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest emotion I've ever felt. Because it's beyond everything that we know. All right, let's keep going. Vertical, horizontal. These two patterns form the grid which continually undergoing an individual evolution so that the individual progresses to a higher cosmic level of soul advancement. This
Mhm.
is why we can't. Go ahead, Jazzy.
I didn't say anything. I'm
Oh,
listening. I'm just agreeing.
oh, this is why we seem so crazy to everybody else. This is what makes us in a world and not of it. Why? Because we're participating in a plan of soul advancement here on the earth that really don't believe in the soul, more or less the spirit, or doing things right without killing your brother. You know what I'm saying? So this is why they try to keep these books down. Let me keep going. However, because of the limitations of the lower worlds, these grids are continually shifted to accommodate the new environment of birth and rebirth. Finally, within the organism, when one of us has reached a point where the higher soul transplant can take place, the grids open to the presence of the third grid-like pattern from which the divine light force is, which is the divine light force. Now it's talking about a divine light, capital L light, a conscious light force that opens up where? Within us. Okay, nowhere else. This shit is happening to you because you have stretched out and opened up your mind for soul advances. You wanted to know shit beyond the earth. You wanted to know the truth. You went deep within yourself, and all you got was more and more truth.
Mhm.
All right. The divine light pattern allows for the spiritual planes to be fully connected with the body and the body to assimilate the Mosaic experience of the Pentecostal flame. All that is that Kundalini energy rising up through all the way up to the pineal gland, activating in you to the Christ energy, not the person, no such thing, the energy. All experience of life are fully activated, made possible to the human form, which goes through a physical union with the divine self.
Mhm.
You heard that, Ms. Visa?
I hear you. I hear
All
you.
experience of life are fully activated, made possible to the human form, which goes through a physical union with the divine self. So this ain't nothing that got to do with you dying. You can do this right here, right now. You can activate the powers of healing, everything right here, right now. It's just that we have to have a consciousness, a knowing. We cannot believe. Belief
Right.
will
No.
not get you any energy.
Mhm.
Zero. That's what you're going to get from belief energy. Nothing. Conscious energy, knowing all the energy you need for anything you want to do.
Mhm.
But that is how you manifest, and that is how you have to be in a sense of knowing, and it has to be in now. It can't be like a projective, like a I'm learning to know. You actually got to feel that. You got to be in the frequency of knowing.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's how they
You
say
know,
feel
what they
good
say,
now.
many walk the path, a lot are on the path, but they don't know the path. They just walking it.
Right. Right.
You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? They not on it confident, like, oh yeah, I know where I'm going. Nigga, the truth is right over there, baby. And that's where
Right.
I'm headed. I don't know where
Mhm.
y'all going,
It's all feeling.
but it's everything is in it, baby. Your feelings are in it, your thoughts are in it, your soul is in it, your physical body has to activate. You got to control all of that. There's
Mhm.
nothing that is included when we start getting to these higher levels of spiritual advancement.
Mhm.
There's nothing that is outside of this realm. Nothing. This is why this book, we're only on chapter 10. We got 54 more to go. How much more can we talk about? Think about it. That's how deep
It's
this shit is.
infinite. It's infinite. It's you
Infinite
know
and
what?
eternal.
It's the being on one side of the train and balance scale. One side is feelings, and that's the way you manifest it, on that side. Feel like they say feel good now, you know,
Well, in the book
being in
that
the present.
being in the press in the book that Miss Visa, I can't remember, dark matter energy, I think it was. It talked about the female being the most powerful spiritual creature there is because they run off emotion and imagination.
They can
Mhm.
I
change the
was like, oh
world.
shit.
They can change the world.
It took me by surprise because I've never heard that before.
Hmm.
But when I
Mhm.
think about it, the
Hmm.
shit makes sense. Because
Hmm.
remember, you can be possessed or obsessed, or
Hmm.
possession or obsession.
Hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
possession is when you let your higher deity form come on and take you over so you can do what you need to do. But obsession is a highly charged passion.
Hmm.
So if
Right.
women had control of those passions, they could do anything. They can
Mhm.
manifest in any way they wanted to. This shit is great. Well, we can too. We still have the same, but they have it naturally, like giving
Hmm.
birth. That's part of the powers of the women because they can give birth to life.
Because
They're
they're
already,
emotional. They're emotional. They're
but those
emotional.
emotions can be used as energy.
Exactly. If
That's
they
the
know how
key.
to direct, right? If they
If
know how
they
to
know how to
direct the
direct it.
energy. Hmm.
It's also not so much as directed. It's just having the understanding the balance of it. When you're
Hmm.
in the now, you can be. I know they say women are emotional beings, and that uh, because of our emotional, it's just being tapped into those emotions and knowing what they actually are and what they represent. Because you can be an emotional being and be. That's what they call us chaos, because the feelings can be all over the place,
Hmm.
especially during that period of time of the cycle that you're all over the place because you're just going
Mhm.
from one end of the spectrum to the other. But being able to be, and that's why it's so important to have to become one with your masculine and feminine within you because we are androgynous. So we're able to tap
Facts.
into that masculine being as well that's within us, so that we can manifest in the now, and being able to, like you said, create that energy or project that energy outward to manifest, because we have that masculine, that balance with our masculine self. It takes a while to learn. It takes some experiences. I really don't think it takes a book. It takes some experiences, and you knowing, like you said, knowing who you are versus who you are not.
Right.
That's what you
That's
said before.
key.
You got to know who you are versus who you are not. And
Man,
once you got that down to a science. We just still always learning, but at least you understand that science about you and what your energies are and what your power. You just take off from there. And that's
you know,
also how you control your pendulum swing as well. You can say,
Yes.
whatever you're going through at that point in time, it can be like, okay, I'm going to decide that this is who I am in this moment.
Not
And
just
I'm
this
that
moment.
in this moment.
This is who I am in every moment. So then all the moments takes away from the pendulum swing because you're never too high and you're never too low. You always know who you are.
Well, I can't say I'm always this in a moment, because from one moment I can be different, because I'm diverse like that. I'm multifaceted like that. We all are. So in this moment, I may choose to be calm and coherent and present. And in one moment I may choose not to be. I might choose to just tone someone out and not be and be completely dismissive.
but
And that's
have
what I
that,
mean.
able to have that control to do that.
Yeah.
That's
And that's
you.
what
You
that's what
see
I
them.
mean by in this moment.
It's just
Oh, I
like
see what you're saying. Being
you
able to
know
be able to do whatever you need to do in that
that
moment,
moment.
In the
You know what?
now, right.
in the
Mhm.
now.
It's just like, like on cartoons when you got that mad little scientist or whatever, and he got this big machine, and then it's all this energy in there, but he's trying to focus it in on something and then create something or destroy it. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just getting a focus point on what you want, and being in that moment. You can change, especially women. You know, I'm not trying to, I'm not a sex, a male chauvinist or anything like
Let's
that. I'm
just
just
say
saying,
people, because men need emotional training more
no,
than women probably nowadays, especially our young men. But go ahead.
but I'm just saying, by them being so emotional, they have so much energy. And just like you just said, Mrs. B said, if you can go ahead and if you know how to learn to focus that energy, man, just imagine what.
Think about it.
Um, I was listening to Neville Goddard, and he was saying he got it. It's on my audiobook playlist is public, so anybody could go there. But now listen to Neville Goddard. He got a book on emotions,
Mhm.
and I think everybody should listen to this. It's a very short audiobook. I think it's maybe not even maybe an hour, maybe an hour, but it's short. But anyway, in that focus, so you can understand, to really get into it, it's not so much as saying, you know what, I I don't want to. I don't like the way this feels to me.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna focus on being happy.
Mhm.
Actually, if you focus too much on it, it negates the process.
Mhm.
You actually gotta feel it. It's
It's
like,
feeling.
okay, yeah, it's the feeling,
Mhm.
and there's a difference between emotion and
And
feeling.
feeling. Yeah,
Mm.
Okay,
definitely.
so you
What's
actually
that
gotta.
difference? What's that difference between emotions and feeling?
And I'm so glad you asked, because this is the one thing that I try to make sure the young boys understand when I was working with the young boys that were incarcerated. I had a whole feelings chart, because I would ask them. I said, "Well, how you felt about that?" I don't know, but feelings and being able to identify how you feel versus your emotion. A feeling is maybe is something that the body actually feels in the physical. Emotion is the energy movement unseen.
Mhm.
So I may feel a bellyache.
Shame.
I may feel a pain in my arm. I may feel a pain in my toe. I may, but emotion, rejection. I felt rejected. That's an emotion, because it's unseen. But you can actually, in your feeling, to me, is in the physical, in the body. And it attacks the body. You can even say, and that's why they say the feelings or your emotions can be stored. For women, a lot of our pain is stored in the hips, right?
Mm.
So in that book I sent you all, it talks about that and how to work with those type of, to get those energies, that trauma and that energy
You know,
moved out your body.
that makes sense
Yeah.
because it's
So
the
if you
same with the
got an
mind.
emotion, right? If you're in an emotion, you say, "Hey, I want to focus." Just tell yourself in that moment, I'm gonna feel and see yourself feeling a different way. Just take that emotion or everything that if somebody was disrespecting you, throwing stuff on you, just say people at your job when they was really getting on your last damn nerve, and we was talking about how to change that in your favor. You really didn't have to focus on it. You just made a statement of what you knew was gonna happen, and it was done.
Right.
You didn't even
That's
have to.
magic.
That's why Pat used to tell me, "What the fuck you mean it's gonna take a week?" Nope, not for me. And I was like, okay. I remember one time I said, tell this story real quick. We was getting ready to go to a North Carolina lecture, and he was waiting for us, his delivery for his panic pack herbs, and it hadn't come yet. And he was like, damn, I want this to come before we leave. And so it hadn't come yet. So we started walking to the car because me and James was driving. We was all riding in one vehicle. So we was getting out to the car, and a butterfly flew by. He said, my shit
Oh
coming.
yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I
It's
heard
coming. And it pulled up. He said, bitch. He said, don't play with my magic. I was like, you got it. You got it. And so
it.
it's like in the moment that you know it, it's done. Because I remember that issue with you and you got to work. It was a done fucking deal. You just got to feel it and know it, like you mental was saying. Once you know that energy exists for you, and that's what we're going into with this book, is like handling things really at your deepest level and
Facts.
understanding
Yes.
how to address that hidden world that is within your own body and your own mind, because you are the universe. You are
That's
making
been
this stuff up
neglected since birth.
since
That's
you
just
came
think
here.
what it
Well,
is since birth.
this is the fall. We in the fall. You
You
know.
know, speaking of that, Miss Visa, it's just like sometimes instant reminder of things. That's why symbolism is good. Like
So important.
Mm-hmm.
because you can go ahead. You already. It's not in the symbol or the thing. It's in you that you have the power. But sometimes that brief reminder, just like just say if I took a crystal to work and I was just like, you know what, when I'm going through this and I just happen to reach in my pocket and I'm like, oh, you know what, I already put this
Boom.
out there.
It's a
And
reminder.
it's just a reminder. It's just like, remember when you said, hey, write on that paper and put it in your shoe. Remember, Miss
Mhm.
Visa?
Mhm.
And then you
Mhm.
said, go ahead. She's like, if you want to get rid of this, just go ahead, write on that piece of paper, put it in your shoe, and watch your problems
And
disappear.
walk on it all day long.
All day.
And I
It was
did.
a done
And
deal.
I did. And I did.
You know something, Miss Visa? I found out that my powers be so strong. I normally don't do any of that because I be at one with it, and I be afraid that they gonna do too much. I just let the spirit
But
take
that's
care
the
of it.
knowing. But you know what? That's the knowing. And I got away from that mental, because if you're the lesson, be the lesson.
Mhm.
Don't
Facts.
stop somebody else from getting their teaching and their knowledge. Because if you say, hey, I'm going, this is me, you don't cross this boundary, or this is what I'm putting out there for me to do, this is meant for me, and somebody decides to get in the way of that and they get a consequence,
They're
that's
gonna
on them.
learn today.
Yeah, it's not you doing anything.
Oh
That
no,
person
I
who,
got that, but I'm just saying
yeah.
I don't put any words of power to it. I don't put any emotions to it. Spirit gonna do what it do. When you cross me, that's on you. Spirit already acting, bro.
Yeah, but that's what
You-
we are saying. But see, that's what we're saying. It's like you can. That's good to get to that point where you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, I
certain
was just
things are
talking
a
about
symbol
main.
of a
Hold on, I was
reminder.
talking about a place of emotion because I was before I was here. I'd always be like, "Oh my God, you gonna get yours." You know what I'm saying? Something that was not necessary when you're in the spirit. It
But you
just
know what?
wasn't necessary, but it was a growth that I had to go through.
Like with me, it wasn't like you gonna get yours. It was just like kind of like what Miss Visa was saying. It's like when I wrote everything down on there, and it was like I'm not stopping you from learning not to go ahead and fuck with people. You know what I'm saying? So that, and if you do, these are the consequences that you know what. And then like when I used to go to work, I used to always say, you know, the thing that I used to say before I get on the road, I do my mantras and everything, and then I say, while I'm at work, those that do have
Mhm.
evil against me, allow them to argue amongst themselves so that I may be able to see it. So when things are going, and then I used to be sitting there, and then everybody around have chaos and they just be going at each other, and then I'm just like, and I'm at peace, you know. And it gave me a chance to see it working for me, so I know, you
But
know,
the
so that
spirit would. I think the more of the lesson was it was already going on. You just
mm,
wasn't looking.
mm,
You understand what I'm
But
saying? Because that was my lesson with the people. I was like, oh, and then the spirit will come back. Mike, let's take a different. Let's look deep into their eyes, into the spirit. They suffering. Man, let them people go, bro. Whatever they get, they get.
yeah, but
You can.
that's the hidden part of it. That's the hidden part of it. That's your inner knowing. That's your higher self. That's your oversoul,
Okay.
knowing that that's already happening. But when you're doing that work, that's what's the repetition that's impacting
right,
your subconscious mind. So we can get to the point where you are,
where you could,
what this book is
right,
telling us, and with the level that you're on. Because of a lot of people that's here, they trying to just get to that point right now. So to
and
be
it
able to
take work.
understand, I already know that they're miserable. I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of people attack me. I've never lifted a finger to the hurt. I done fed them. I done took care of them. And it's like, okay, but you know they're miserable.
You know it.
They're miserable as hell. But the
It's
thing about it is, when you put in that work and say, okay, you know what?
right.
Because I know if it wasn't for my spirituality, mental, I wouldn't be to the point where I am now. There were
Yes.
times where when I had to put in that extra work to protect myself, and
Mhm.
being able to know
Mm,
that I could do that, to be able to know that I could never in my life ever saying, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
mm,
I'm stuck.
Mhm.
I
mm.
can't do it.
Mhm.
I ain't got nobody.
Mhm.
Lord, I'm doing all this by myself. That's a lie.
Mhm.
I know that's a lie. Because if
Mhm.
I wasn't able to say, you know what, I was just saying this on the other on in cultural speaking. If I didn't know that I could get this blue candle, which is the symbol, I'm
Mhm.
impacting my subconscious mind because this is in me. I'm
Mhm.
saying to myself, get this blue candle, justice candle, and I'm gonna talk to this candle because I need to see. When I light this candle, it is the light for you to see your way. And
Mhm.
then now that I'm seeing this, it helped to impact my subconscious mind so I can activate
It's just
my
tools,
God self, the
right?
God is in me, that
Boom.
creator, to do
That's
what I
all.
need to do.
That's all.
So that's what you're talking about in this book,
Hmm.
because this is our God level, this is our energy
Yes.
that is dormant, and
Yes.
we're trying to figure this out
Mhm.
Trying to
by
get back
So
to it.
so it's good to utilize tools, you know, and then like even
yeah.
like when you go ahead and saying like a protection bubble of love, you know what I'm saying? You place it on your family, on this or that. And it's
Mhm.
just actually doing the work to get yourself where you can, you know what I'm saying? You're speaking things, speaking it into existence. You're making things happen. You're doing the magic. And that's why I
Fact.
said, you know, that's what we went through a
I
lot of
mean,
time.
I send a spirit or two. I actually envision like I got two giant Anubises, maybe like 30 feet, 30 stories tall, that just sit over my house. They just stand
And
there.
see,
When I
but
go
see,
out in my
that's
car,
the level
one of
that
them
people want to
follows
be
me.
on.
One
That's
Right.
of
the
them
people that
follows me
a lot of
everywhere I
times
go.
mental's on that level.
Where you
Like,
can,
I just I just know it. That's it. I don't have to go. I don't. He
he
to
did the
get to
work
that
already.
point. It takes
You got to do the
experience and
work.
it takes
Right.
work to get
Right.
to his level of understanding
Hmm.
and being able to have that. But the thing about it is, all of us know, and I know mental does this. No ego.
Hmm.
You can
Right.
be where I am too.
Hmm.
Facts.
That's why
Hmm.
we here
No,
doing the
further than I
repetition.
am. Further than I
Repetition.
am.
This is
Hmm.
repetition. Every
But
Sunday, 2 p.m.
hmm.
Symbol.
That's
Hmm.
2
right.
p.m. Symbol.
Hmm.
Every
Repetition.
Sunday.
Every
Hmm.
Sunday.
Sunday.
So
Hmm.
we
Facts.
doing the work. We're doing the work, but it's going to impact the subconscious mind of the people who's participating and the people who's watching if they're doing it consistently.
And see,
So
that's
we
the thing.
doing the
What
work.
Hey,
that's
hold
the
on,
thing
Jazzy.
right
My
there.
spirit is saying, real quick, my spirit is saying, and this is why we have you talking about this book now. That's what the spirit said. Go ahead, Jay. I ain't even going to interrupt,
Mhm.
but it was just saying to me in the back, man, this is why we talking about this, because people really need to know.
That
This
hey,
is the
that's what I was just about to say. I was like, see, it's not mental. The thing is, it's just like you, Miss Visa, you know, somewhat myself, you know, have been doing practices and I mean and doing the work to go ahead where you can be at that level where you can just envision to go ahead and say, look, two Anubises just sitting outside my house. However, for people that's just coming in or that don't know, you know, you do the repetition, you do the symbols so you can get to that point. That's what I was saying. It's just like when you say, okay, just focus on the color. If you focus on the color red, you know, or the focus on the color green or the color blue, to just get your mind to be on a point, a level where you can go ahead and understand. And then when you start to do these things, then once you start to put in the work and work and work, then you'll be able to just go ahead and say, you know what, two Anubises just sit outside my house. You know
Can
what
I
I'm saying?
say this? Can I say this to Jazz? Can I say this to
Yes.
Jazz? I'm really
Mhm.
getting sick of you
Uh-oh.
because let me tell you, pull that
Okay.
weed of getting on that level. You need to like see yourself,
Uh, I
you
was gonna
there.
say something, but I
I
didn't. Go
thought
ahead, Miss
I wanted
Visa.
to cuss him the fuck out because I'm sick of hearing that shit. Because it's like I've already given him some information, but it's like
I
what Planet
listen.
told me. Like you have some stuff to work with. I gave you plenty for
Hmm.
you to see who you are. Even a whole thing about a deity that
Uh-oh.
fucks with him
Gloom.
heavy, but he ain't.
And
He
I
got to be
use
able
it.
to see himself, no matter what I do, no matter what I say. But that little seed, I don't know who. Okay, hold up. He gave me permission for this. Dad gave me permission to do this shit a long time ago to read him.
Uh-oh. It's coming. Let's get it.
Okay,
Hmm.
there's a seed. This seed that was planted in him during his teenage year of self doubt, or he was taken advantage of, which impacted his
Oh, okay.
subconscious mind that made him feel weak as a man. That seed right there needs to be addressed. Pull that weed because it's a weed now.
Hmm.
Pull that shit. Go think about, find out who it was or whatever in your teenage years. It was by a female that hurt you,
Hmm.
that made you feel less than a man. It don't have to be a relationship. It could have been a family member. It could have been
Little shadow
a
work.
sibling. But it was
But yeah,
something that made you
no,
feel like you
we
couldn't.
talked about this on here. We talked about this when I like as a childhood when I was growing up, just being going ahead and being molested by women. You know what I'm saying? So those were the part of the things that what started my shadow work in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? What
Okay,
caused me to go
but
back.
this telling me something specific. Like this is a teenage year that something happened. If
Hmm.
that is part of it too, but this is in a teenage year. I would say I'm looking at 14, 15.
Hmm.
During that time, there was something else that took place. It could have been at school. It could have been something where your man your manhood was tested. I don't know if it was done by another male, but I'm feeling a mass of female energy, or somebody did something that tried to take away your power from you as a man.
But that's what
Maybe
I'm
somebody
saying.
tried to
That's what
tremendously
I'm saying.
humiliate
It
you.
wasn't it wasn't until like when I started to go back and then I realized how long it's been going on. And then it wasn't until like my 14 or 15 years, you know what I'm saying, and 16 when I can go ahead and then I understood to go ahead and overpower that energy at that time. But before I was just it was just like I was just being taken advantage of, you know, and I didn't even know why, you know, but the whole
Okay.
thing. So
Oh, oh Lord, it just
when I
came
got
to
to
me.
the
You
when I
know
got to
why?
the age when I was
You
able
know,
to handle it and then I knew what was going on, then I was able to deal with it. But I still didn't deal with it because the whole thing about it, it lasted all the way through relationships. And that was part of the whole thing where it said that I had to go back and then because what happened, I started destroying women. And so I had to go back and apologize all the way back from women that I had a relationship with that I had to go ahead and I had to apologize because I wasn't myself. You know, I was operating out of something else. And then that's why I said that's what when I start talking about when I got with mental and start saying I need to go down this rabbit hole down this journey, I had to go back to a child. I went back all the way until I when I started playing music, I heard stuff all the way back till I was like 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? About different situations and scenarios and stuff. But when I started being taken advantage of by women, it happened around 8ish, 9ish. And then it wasn't until like 14 or 15 when I came to the point where I got in my mind where I can go ahead and say, you know what? I understand this now. you know. But then I was operating out of passion, and then, you know what I'm saying, of self, you know, gratification. It wasn't.
I think that energy was just more. That energy was throughout your whole cousin. Your cousin had the same damn energy.
Mm.
Them ladies love that dude. I mean, I don't know what dairy to all y'all. I don't know what
Generational. So you think it's a generational thing, generational curse type of thing
I
that they
think
have to
it's
break?
one of those things that the family got afflicted with because no one rose above to become that spiritual torchbearer.
Mm.
Jazzy's doing it. He's done it. So now he can heal the rest of them, but they were waiting for the one. So all of them were going to go through sexual issues, every last one of them at some point in their life. And it's not like not having women, just the opposite. Too many women, being able to get them too many,
Well,
get them too easy. You know what I'm saying? And this was trying because the sexual energy is that spiritual outlet, especially when we're young.
Jazz, I'll be honest, you still dealing with that. You still dealing
No,
with it.
I still got a little bit.
Because
But you know, the thing is, I don't
I've
think
talked
you'll
to you
ever
about it.
not deal with it. I don't think you'll ever not deal with it, because it's just like, because what happened, it became an addiction. So the whole thing about it is just that it's just like any type of addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or whatever. It's, you still will always have something that you're dealing with it, you know. But so it's never going to be a point where I just will
Well,
be just say
it stops becoming an addiction once it's under your control, and you can look at someone for their beauty and not
right,
lust
and
after
not
them. That's all it is. That's all it is. You can say someone's cute without lusting after them.
Right. No, but I'm just saying the whole thing is just like you putting a crackhead in a room full of crack. You see what I'm saying? So they still will be affected, even though they say, you know what? Oh yeah, I used to do that, or this, that, or I know what that is. It's still something in the back of your mind where you still
Let's
will
bring
go
it
ahead and
back
be.
to the fulcrum of what the work we're doing inside of self. Asking self these questions, going in self, seeing these things. Everything is in us.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stress it enough.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting much from what looks good, tastes good, feels good, smells good. You're not getting much from that.
And it became a vice. And then it became a vice. That's what I talked about in here before.
I don't know. I don't know if you ever have done this, but I really think for your humanity needs to be dealt with on a different level. It would help you if you would go and find you a good therapist to deal with the human part of it, so that you can see that the behavior. It's the behavior, and we spoke about this, but it's the behavior that needs to be looked at, so that you can reflect the person who you actually are. It's like your spiritual side and your human side wants to add balance together, but that injury is what's causing the disruption. You feel me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear
It's
you.
like there's a lot that you have, like the magnitude of who you are, and you can feel that person. You know that you exist as this higher being, evolved and everything, but that what you said earlier that brought this conversation on, that's the disruption, that's the disturbance. And that's why mental even agree with me. You are all those things, but you'll revert back to that one point in time that made you feel like I'm not on that level yet.
No, you know, the one thing I think a lot of it is because I don't want to seem egotistic.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm saying the same. I'm saying the same thing.
I want to say that I want to be able to come across
that you just have that is enough. But you got to give yourself credit.
Listen to me. I know it takes a lot, but you got to be able to be an active listener. It's not about attacking. It's about you knowing that you are more than what you think you are, and owning it without feeling like you got to be less than. You got to hold back your ego. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be rejected because I'm in my full authentic self. We're not going to reject you. We encourage you to be yourself. We encourage you to be 100% open, but you got a little drawback because you don't be looked at as a bad person.
Or I know it all. I don't care if someone says that.
Yeah. I'm ready for you to just come out and be like, I'm just, tongue hanging out here. I'm it. And let that be, and be comfortable with it. I done had a bad past. Yes, Look at all the shit. Y'all know all the shit I've been through. But that does not
Everybody.
dictate who I am right now.
That's
I
it,
don't
and I
give a
know
shit
that part.
how much I've been through. Who I am right now, I love. I love myself who I am right now. And nothing that I could pull me back into being that lesser person, because that was my lesson. And actually I was their lesson. You understand? You also somebody else's lesson.
Right.
So you got it. You just gotta, like what he's saying in this book, and he's telling you, go back to that. But if you want something to do to impact, to pull that part of yourself, get rid of that, I'll send you something to do. But I want you to be able to release that so that you can 100 be like, come on here and be like,
Miss
hey,
Visa,
this is
he's
your
been
idol.
on that
Be
for
like,
a
I'm that
long.
shit. I'm ready for this
He's
shit.
been on that
Can
for
you
a long
imagine?
time. Because I used to
Come on,
always tell him,
listen.
like, give yourself credit, bro.
You gonna
Give
come on?
yourself
You gonna
credit
come
for
on
where
like?
you've gone, for what you've
You gonna
done.
come on like pulling his shirt and shit?
Right, to come out like that me. Like, I wish a nigga would.
Oh my God! Yeah, I wish a nigga would
I
today.
wish a nigga would, boy. I'm ready for that.
Yeah,
My
I am
spirits
too.
are
Like
waiting. They
we
want to
going
pounce on
on.
somebody.
Yeah, but it has
I
to
got
do with
nigga
you
spirit.
love yourself in all your aspects, no matter what happened. See yourself as that young person and be like, I give you the permission to come out of hiding and be who you are
Be who you are.
100%.
And let your
I
real
am no
energy out.
longer that person.
Because you
We've
have not
matured to
found your
grow.
real energy yet, bro. That's what we're telling you. You don't even know how powerful you are.
We've had that conversation. So we
You
ran in the
don't even know
ground.
how powerful you are. But like I said, when it comes out, this is the one step to let you know, man, don't be afraid to be that beast. You know how I used to talk? I wish a cop would pull a nigga over. I wish somebody would sit in my seat. I wish. My parents already got that taken care of. Oh, that's good. I'm straight. I don't even worry about that. You know what I'm saying? That's when you get to the realm of knowing. Hold on. Saying that, listen up. So we have all the experience of life are fully activated and made possible to the human form, which goes through a physical union of the divine self, your higher self. Hence, the cosmic vibrations connects the higher I am, that high you, connects with the human I am. That's that I am that I am. That's what that means. That's the higher you connecting with the lower human you through the 5 bodies of light. What are these 5 bodies of light? It's controlling your physical, controlling your emotional, controlling your mental, controlling your spirit, and activating your soul. 5 bodies of light. I could go into the little what they are, but it wouldn't make no sense. So, boom. Control, discipline, knowing who you are. All right? They synthesize so completely that all 5 bodies draw up into the crown chakra to become one with the eternal light. Now you moved yourself off of this earth because now you've tapped into the eternal and the infinite, which all of us have tapped into, if that's what we can see. When this happens, the consciousness of every chemical cell is brought up through the body, through the 7 chakras, and goes into a hovering light pyramid over the mind in the area of the 8th chakra. When this is completed, the 9th and 10th chakra grids in conjunction with the 8th chakra template bring you through all the information from previous civilizations. Your Alaskan records start to activate. Now you know it all. All right. So it's just trying to show you that you're going through a phase, multiple phases on multiple levels, on multiple frequencies. Okay. We're fighting physically, other people that don't want to do right, that try to keep us down, emotionally trying to keep our emotions in check, mentally trying to keep our thoughts straight and together, spiritually trying to gather that spiritual energy to solely try to activate that soul for our higher self, our God body, our God energies, our God being. All right? So, I was taken to the Merkaba. That's the spiritual spaceship that we all can form through meditation. It's the triangles. It's a pyramid vibrating one way going up, a pyramid vibrating going one way going down, which forms the Star of David. vibrating in opposite directions, and inside you're in a pyramid that doesn't move, but the pyramid around you is moving you through space and time. The Merkaba, Jacob showed me how the fallen legions were disbanded and dispatched to three-dimensional worlds. So the fallen legions of angels, fallen legions of Elohims, fallen legions of all those thought forms that fought against the Father's perfect plan. They wanted to do shit their way. What did they do? They got dispatched. They got kicked out of the heavens. Where did they come down? Three-dimensional Earths like us, like ours, right here, right now. This is where they at right here, trying to get into our minds and control us. Still, out of the fallen mixtures of the creative experiments, everything advances to newborn generations, and the lessons of some star universes are replayed identically in smaller planetary universes. The smaller planetary universes, without completely destroying themselves, must learn the lesson of a great star universe. I'm gonna tell you right now, we ain't learning shit. Not on this motherfucker. These motherfuckers in charge are bent on destruction because we have the most of the fallen are right here with us. All right? Because this is their chance of purification. Don't get it twisted. Even they have a redemption plan. Whether they use it or not is on them. Even their mind and spirit is being tested. All right? Let me keep going. The mantra vibrations, these are the words of power, rise the body's consciousness into the seed crystal mind so that it spirals out of the conscious paragram, which is controlled by the energies of the black cube. All right. What does the black cube represent? It represents the squaring of a circle. It represents entropy. The circle represents entropy, but you can put a square inside of a circle three-dimensionally. And that represents physical existence, fire, air, water, earth. Everything breaking down, okay? And by going through the pyramid lights on the mantras raise the body consciousness into the seed crystal mind so that it spirals out of the consciousness of the paragram, which is controlled by the energies of the black cube. And by going through the light pyramid on this life station, the mind of the conscious is able to pass through the lower pyramidal creations into a greater light life station on other dimensional or metatronic levels of creation. So when we pierce through and we see worlds of peace and love, or we get downloads, or we get healing, all these things are coming from higher evolution. It's just a touch of the eternal, a piece of the infinite. That's all that is. Where it's coming from up high. And you have somehow formed the transducers that transduce the spiritual energy and the physical energy that you can use. You can then enter into dimensions where all life motion becomes an eternal unfoldment, where all is currently being lived, currently being recycled, for the universe has all ideas stored in the eternal mind of reflection and revolution.
Okay.
All life motions are stood for replay and regathering for the use of the ascended masters in higher dimensions within the world of the 1,000 locust time cell. Go ahead, dear.
Okay, read back that part where it said that you can transform or you can change. What was that?
I'm gonna read it back to you. Hold on. We enter into a dimension. When we start thinking about the life stations in our mind, other places, other destinies, other realms, when we enter into the dimension where all life motion becomes an eternal unfoldment, meaning it means something. You are part of the infinite and eternal now. You've entered that realm where all is currently being lived, currently being recycled. For the universe has all ideas stored in the eternal mind of reflection and revelation. All life motions are stored for replay and regathering for the use of higher masters ascended masters in higher evolution within the worlds of the thousand locusts. So it's basically saying these are recycled mental energies, recycled creation things that continually be recycled. The ones that work get a little more recycled than the ones that don't, but always getting retweaked. Go ahead.
If you understand the cycle, the function of the body,
Uh-huh.
that would explain all of that. The cells, memories, everything is stored in the cells. That's
Regenerate.
always being recycled and flowing through the
Always.
body. Always. So
As
actually,
above, so
hearing
below.
I'm hearing bodily functions. Everything that what you're saying is also the same as the body system, the brain, the lungs, the blood cells.
Everything is
'Cause you said
alive.
the cells hold
Everything is
all
conscious.
memory.
Yes.
And
Conscious
four,
memory. They're doing a job. Your cells are alive doing a job. Your organs are the accumulation of these cells and things doing a job. They are conscious of what they are doing. The shit that fucks them up is us. We stop them from doing what they're supposed to do.
I was
To our
just
ignorance.
watching. I was just watching it where they was like you were saying everything regenerates and it was
An
like every
eternal
part of our
atonement.
body.
Hold both volume keys for 5 seconds to disable spoken feedback.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're right. So
No,
listen,
like
it
they was
goes on. It says on the physical plane, it is the subconscious world. Once again, that inner world for us. That's where all the work gets done, the shadow work, meditation. It's the subconscious world, not the conscious world that dictates the primary order of events. So it's inside of you. When you see what's going on, you're actually seeing the future of what's going to happen out here. So a lot of shit that I say, remember I told you, Jazzy, some shit gonna happen tonight. I feel it. Spirit is telling me. And then all that shit got knocked out. AT&T, people couldn't go to the bank.
the very
Airports was
next
fucked
day.
up. That same day, within 24 hours.
Mhm.
Because I'm seeing the world. These things that are going on the physical realm have already played out in higher evolution. It's fell down to us because we're the last realm. The slowest realm. The least spiritual. We're the physical. This is the least of the least. We're at the bottom, baby. Ain't the same. But we can reach the top.
I want to go back to where we was talking about regenerating, recycling and everything. So I'm gonna put it in the group. I think I may have. It was saying the decaying, the centropy of everything is basically like sugar, and they were saying like your teeth decay because of sugar. They said your eyesight with glaucoma is a sugar. They were saying your dementia and the other one.
Well, it's not really sugar, it's the mucus. The sugar or the high fructose corn syrup turns into mucus. Mucus is what kills us. Mucus is what's in the scales in our veins that get clogged up. Mucus is what clouds our heart, that gives us heart attacks, or the pump stopping the pump from working. Mucus is what comes in our lungs and stops us from breathing. Mucus in our nose, mucus in our head. It's all mucus, and it's a defense mechanism.
They were saying that it starts with sugars though. The decaying, because sugar and starches and everything turns into mucus. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like everything else that we talk about, the 5 sugars, but here it's elaborated to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? So it goes beyond the things how we say feel good, looks good, tastes good.
What it's actually saying is, we think we know so fucking much and we don't know shit. If you leave the body alone, it'll heal itself. Ain't that some shit? If you just leave the motherfucker alone, it will heal itself.
Did you see that? Did you see that it said that if the medicines work, then you know what I'm saying? It was the body and it was all medicine, and it was like it would be no need if the medicine actually worked, but it doesn't. So they keep prescribing.
The drugs don't work. Medicines work. The drugs don't work. A drug is more than one medicine put on in each other. So they can say that they made it. So they can make a profit. They know that dandelion root is just like a penicillin when you got a cold or strep throat. They ain't gonna tell you to go pick some dandelion root, boil it, put some honey and ginger in it, knock that shit out within 24 hours. They ain't gonna say that. They want you to go to the hospital where you gotta get their medicine, whatever they do, and they drugs for the 7 days and the side effects. That's where we're at. We're in a realm where the inner us can't say shit, has no voice in what's going on in our lives. We are fucked up.
Yeah, they don't want you to hear it.
Yes.
And when you do, and when you know you're doing the work, the attention will follow.
Yeah. They coming to knock
Yes,
on your
hence what
door.
happened to
Motherfucker gonna
Dr.
come to try to fuck
Sadie.
with you.
They
Dr.
kicking in your
Sadie,
door.
one of them.
They kicking in your door at that point.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta remember, when Dr. Sabi went to court and proved that he could heal shit, they weren't gonna let that nigga go till they killed him. Don't get it twisted. He was already dead as far as they was concerned. They
Yeah.
was gonna get him at some point, because he just proved their whole hospital system to be a lie.
Mhm.
The
That's what his mother
$1 trillion
said too.
industry, $1 trillion. They will kill me, you, our families, your descendants for their money. Don't get it twisted. That's all they know.
Mhm.
You want to hurt a white person? Hit them in their pockets.
Control.
Hit them in their pockets.
That's what they said with the whole thing about if more black people had life insurance, then it won't be so many police killing and all of those kind of things because it's sitting in their pockets.
No. Even if we band together, listen, most cops that are cops have a reason or an agenda or an intention for being a cops. You have a lot of white Aryan Nation, Ku Klux Klan. They go to be cops for the control. Don't get it twisted. They're recruited for that. That's why if you're too smart, did you know this? The actor, black dude, I can't remember his name. He went to be a cop. He's a famous kung fu dude. Went to be a cop. Took the test. Passed it in like the 90s. They told him, nah, bro, you can't be a cop. He was like, why? You're too smart. You're not going to do what we
I know
want
who
you
you're
to
talking
do.
about. The dude that, the muscle dude.
Boom. You're not going to do what we want. You're not going to just follow directions and what the fuck we tell you to do. You're not going to do that. We can't have you. So it's letting you know what type of people they want to be a cops. They want agreeable, controllable soldiers that they can tell anything to, and they'll do it. And guess what? That's what most of the cop system is made up of. I don't give a fuck where you go. New York, Florida, California, Ohio, Alaska. I don't give a damn. Same shit, because they're overseers. That's what they're there for. That's what they want them there for. To oversee who? Nigga, us.
That's the Matrix.
When they can.
Yeah, that's the Matrix.
Shit, don't get it twisted. That's why my spirit won't let them come close to me. It's what I do. It's what I know. Spirit will tell you. Everything you need to know, the spirit will tell you. It's all in you. We're reading it. It's telling you. Enter into the dimension where all life motion becomes an eternal unfoldment, where all is currently being lived and currently being recycled, for the universe has all ideas stored in the eternal mind, which we are a part of right now. You can tap into the eternal mind right here, right now, of reflection and revelation. All life motions are stored in for replay and regathering for the use of higher ascended masters and dimensions within the worlds of the thousand lotus. That's within the physical worlds. On the physical plane, the subconscious world is the subconscious world, not the conscious world that dictates the primary events. The key 10 says that the spectrum language is built into the subconscious in order to connect the mind with the many light spectrums all at the same time in different star kingdoms of evolution. Therefore, by using the 5 languages, we can experience all spectrums manifested in higher evolution. So we don't have to be even stuck on this one realm, this one life expectancy. When we get into your higher mind, you can start seeing, like Brother Panic and Bobby Hemmings started seeing other realms, other levels of existence that didn't deal with killing. No guns. No one's killing each other. Everyone's helping each other. Everyone's happy with where they're at. Satisfied with who they are. It goes on. It says these 5 languages collect the 5 biocomputer bodies of man within the 5 different energy spectrum as one unity, so that man is able, capital M man. Now we're talking about a conscious man, not just a man. Capital M man is able to experience the past, the present, and the future of all light civilizations that have lived upon the planet Earth. This is what they don't want us to have. This is what they don't want us to know. Okay? This is our power. This is your power, Jazzy. While you just talking about the little shit we doing, nigga, this ain't shit. This ain't nothing. Okay? This is just the beginning of touching those spiritual gifts that you have. He is able, through the brothers of light and the experience of the 9 time zone of this planetary creation, to be recognized as the past, present, past, future, present, past, present, future, future, past, future, present, future, future. It's even beyond past, present, and future now, bro. See what I'm saying? Shit done opened up into the 9 levels of the. Once again, those are your 9. Those are your 9 ether. That's what we represent. These 9 stages of consciousness. Let me go on. Thus, man is connecting his mind time warp with his overself, his higher self, and can experience both the past and the future of the physical plane functioning as one. So you could see the future, knowing it's coming, and just play it out because you already know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And just as higher evolution came down to Earth, to the Termin Desert in Egypt, so they come down to you through your crown chakra, your Kethla point. That's what they call Kethla in the tree of life. That's that highest point, being omnipresent everywhere at once. That's what it represents. These languages connect you to the Orion Pleiades Central Command. These key languages build the grid of the living body of capital conscious light, which takes you into many dimensions where the light focus is currently being used. The key speaks of language systems of capital L conscious light given by higher evolution to the star seeds on this planet to enable this seed to go through the galactic formation and transformations. And through this manifestation of the world projected to thought forms of higher galactic kingdoms of creation, materialize not only a set, but as multiple sets of evolutionary kingdoms of creation. So we're not alone. We're a part of a whole group of Earth-like planets suffering the same bullshit we going through, trying to figure out what's going on. All right? I was shown how the incarnation of the Christ energy became the body of Yahshua, and how the body of Yahshua became the body of Christ, came together to form the Star of David. Brilliant star pyramids of light as 3-dimensional embodiment of the eternal light. So it's trying to tell you that this 3-dimension, this entropy is encased in centropy, which meaning you already have living light. You already cannot die. When you leave here, you go back to the centropy, back to the heavens. Mm-hmm. If you've graduated with enough consciousness to leave the physical plane. Enoch has revealed that the masters are taken into the pyramid to show how the physical body can be infused with the higher dimension of light, conscious light, working through the madrids of the crystalline energy field surrounding the human network. That's your aurora. That's your pineal gland, that energy that comes out. This is all a network. Everything that's going on, everything you've ever heard is part of this infinite and eternal energy and plays a function. That's your light body. Just like you have a physical body, you have a body of light. They coexist with each other. If one gets out of whack, it throws the other off. All right. It's also being revealed how the human mind is able to open up within the star seed of the third eye as the time warp area of consciousness through which it too can work directly with higher evolution. So it's telling you, when we get these downloads, when we go to these higher spiritual places, we are actually participating in higher evolution activity because it ain't here. The shit we learning right now ain't here. This is higher evolution. This is why we do what we do here, why we serve humanity, why we use love, why we put our first foot forward, because we're not working for a goal here. We're working for a goal for up there. Why we came down here. I like to call it Destiny's Championship ring. I'm not down here working for humans. I'm down here doing what did Jesus? I'm about my Father's plan. That's what I'm about. That higher evolution plan. Okay? It keeps going. We are given the knowledge of how human vehicle works as a biotransducer system, which is racing against an electrochemical destruction by consuming energies of the sun. We are told that our human kingdom is transformed from time to time into the kingdoms of light and made into star vehicles. It's trying to show us that evolution or revolution, how we come into a new world. Okay, that's why it says in Revolution, there's going to be a new earth and new heavens. We're getting all of this shit is done as far as we're concerned. So we ain't worried about going to the bank. We ain't worried about eating plants and food. We ain't worried about shitting, defecating, social. None of that shit is be done. We're on a whole new level now. There may be aspects of it, but it definitely ain't on this physical level. All right, so we are told how the human kingdom is transformed from time to time into the kingdoms of light and remade into star kingdoms. How to properly, the repetition, here we go with repetition again, how the proper repetition of the sacred words allows for the alignment, the enlightenment, compassion, and love, so that the three jewels of the biological body, the mental body, and the spiritual body, or the three bodies of Buddha, are all fused together. All the thought forms, the Trinity. Okay, when we use the Egyptian, Hebrew, Sanskrit, Tibetan, Chinese word to prime the thought vibrations that flow into the third eye, the languages will open up the channel of the crystalline vibrations within you so that your body can directly work with higher intelligence through tele-thought communication, downloads, talking directly to you. That's when you talk with your spirit.
Right.
That's when you really getting some shit done. When you're directly talking to your spirit about some spiritual shit. Not what the lotto number is going to be. Not what's on TV or what football game is coming on. Some real shit. And the light. Okay, hold on. Let me see. And the thought forms that are active in this evolution come through the greater mind, for the thought forms do not originate in the body mind of man, but only are received and stored in the units of the 10 to the 10th of the thought form potential. So it's saying when we get it, it can't even come in its full strength. Yep.
Right.
We have to open that shit up through thought, through understanding, through downloads. So you may have right now all these packs already, these panic packs already in your mind, ready to open. The only thing that needs to open it is you. To get to the next realm. The next realm.
That's why
mentally.
That's kind of like what we talked about like a couple of years ago about when you come in this physical plane, everything that you need to go ahead and survive was already installed in you. You know, like it's
already here.
It was here when you got here. Yeah.
Well, remember, being totally spiritual is not to depend on the physical word for shit. Nothing. Nothing. I mean, shit, I feel as if I'm getting to the point that I ain't even got to eat anymore because I'm never hungry. I knick-knack, snack, but I like to get out in the sun, get the download. You know what I'm saying? So I can see how shit. Remember we was just talking about this maybe a few episodes, how the animals are getting all these goddamn spiritual downloads. Mm-hmm. Where ours? Nigga, where my shit at? Come to find out, they've been there all the goddamn time. We just didn't know.
No, yeah. We didn't recognize because we
didn't recognize.
No, those dumb animals, they don't know no better. They don't this, they don't that. I'm just saying that's the, you know, but now the more conscience you get, the more you get to see, you know, it's just
the more we see in our mind. Remember, your mind can see anything and everything, past, present, future. It can do all of it, but we rely on these eyes.
And it's the same thing. It's the same thing like the electric cars, the trains and everything. all that shit been here. You
Been
know,
here.
it's just that we weren't conscious of what it was and what it you know,
No,
because
I'd
I
even
was
go another step further. We had that shit right over here until they destroyed it and made their own shit. Reverse engineered it, destroyed it, and built it back up and called it day shit. Don't get it twisted. Nothing is new under the sun. Everything is stored in the eternal mind. That gets used over and over again, over and over again. So don't
You know
think
what
ain't
I,
some shit is new.
you know what I thought about? I thought about when you get something that you thought nobody had. Like when I got my car,
Yup.
I didn't see a gray Hyundai Santa Fe Sport anywhere till I got that car.
And you seen
Then
them
they
all
were
over the place.
all the
Green,
time.
blue, orange. Damn,
you
I ain't know everybody.
when you go park, you parking right next to one.
Oh, like what the?
Because you wasn't looking for it. Ain't that some shit? That's how
Hey,
perception works. It only gives you what you look for. So if you
I
looking for that bullshit, you gonna find it. You
I
looking
want to
for
put
higher
this out there.
evolution, you gonna
I want
find
to
it.
put I want to put this out there. Okay, I'm gonna see if this works. This just in the little an experiment. I've only seen one pink Mary Kay car in the last. I just seen it like maybe last week. I haven't seen one in like probably 10
What's a
or
Mary
15.
Kay car?
It's like a pink Cadillac.
Oh,
Mary Kay, people who sell
I
Mary
got you.
Kay, they reach a
Yeah.
level of sales and they
Tell
get
me
a
how
car.
many. Tell me because I haven't seen one until like last week was the first time I seen one.
I haven't seen a pink car, period. And
So
I don't
hey,
know for how long.
next week I want to see
How
if
many? I'm gonna look for pink, just pink cars. It ain't even gotta be a caddy, a pink car,
pink
period.
car.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just want
Okay,
to
so
see.
hold on. We got this last little thing. We're almost done. So
Yeah,
the
because Miss
synthesis
wait
of the
before you
three
go.
jewel bodies. Oh,
Before you go, Miss Visa, your show is today, right?
seven
At
o'clock.
7.
7. Okay, we got time. Okay,
The
go ahead.
synthesis of the three jeweled bodies of light in the living experience of the light continuum, it allows freedom from the linear thought forms and creates movements towards pluralistic universes working it with multiple bodies of light. So when you get that trinity together, you, yourself, and I, all right? When you get that lower, the root chakra, the navel chakra, and the spleen chakra together, working with the heart chakra, throat chakra, and the pituitary gland, the mind chakra, together. Then your pineal gland, your eighth and ninth chakra start opening up. Those are the three bodies of light. They're talking about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, each being a body in itself. I just want to break it down so that you understand. And what does it do? It allows you for the freedom from linear thoughts, meaning you are now free to think about other things, but that looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. Freely think openly and let the spirit help you. It allows you freedom from linear thoughts and creates movements towards pluralistic universes working with multiple bodies of light, multiple physical bodies. That's how you go into other realms. You go into a whole nother light body. With this in mind, you are free to work with higher pathways of light vibrations so that all are synthesized into the Christ energy, whereby our universe shall be sacrificed. Yes, without standing, it shall die in its limited form, but it shall be quickened and shall be reborn in the power of the living light, which it is awakened, and all the righteous shall inherit. That chapter was powerful. It's letting you
Mm-hmm.
know what the hell is going. This is what's going on. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what we have to inherit in the next realm, but we're so far from it because all we're still on is fucking fire and brimstone, hell and heaven. When hell is here and heaven is here, they just aspects of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think society is slowly moving away from that though, because in the 70s and the 70s and the 80s, boy, it was the early 80s, and then that prosperity came. That's what's kind of like in the late 80s, 90s kind of took over was prosperity. So I think there everyone's evolving, but you know, not at the race or the pace that we would like to see it or that we think. I think it is evolving because I remember as a kid, boy, I used to be scared of Oh, I can't read that.
Oh, like the Nexus star and star generator. They're talking about something. Just go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I like growing up in the 70s, telling my age, but you know, that was the biggest thing. It was just like, you're going to hell if you don't this, that, or whatever. You know, and that was the biggest thing. And then you had this thing where it was like a big red devil that, you know, if you don't, you're gonna be burned. You're gonna burn with this guy with a tail and a pitchfork and horns, and you know, that that
Got the
that
whole
hey,
image for you
they
with
had everything.
demons and Damians all around, and they're gonna be poking you, and you're gonna be on fire.
I mean, if you look at Looney Tunes, I mean, as a kid, that's what we grew. I mean, and
That's
it
what it's
showed you that.
programmed.
It's yeah, and it showed you this guy up with a harp and gold ring
Did you
around
know
this
that
and white.
Jesus wasn't even in the Bible until they put him in the Bible in the Conference of Nicaea? A few decades after that, they added the devil because he had so much power to control the people.
Mm.
Tell him
But
the devil gonna get you.
then I say, in maybe 2012 ish is when they came out and they said somebody said, "Hey, okay, how come there's only one devil, but there's so many different hundreds of different gods?" You
Uh oh.
know, so that's when that
Yeah, it
form
started to
started. That
fall.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, so that's why I said people are slowly but surely they, you know, but it's not. It's because that vice has been put on us since birth. You know, you
Jazzy,
came in.
don't waste your time with the masses. The
Mhm,
masses will be the masses, the sheep. They
mhm,
gonna go by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. That's it.
mhm,
You got
mhm,
10, you got 15% of the people that have a chance to know the truth, and 10% out of them are using it to control people.
mhm. And
5%.
when you look at it now, like in this day and age, like since the pandemic hit, church haven't even been full like it used to be. You know, they're scrambling for members because people, when they put it on that you could watch from home, that gave an excuse for people not to even go be in the present no more. So they
Right.
backed out of that. So, and then like there's only few of them that really, and then some of them, the only ones that are really striving and surviving now are the ones that kind of have some type of consciousness that's involved. All that other stuff,
Oh,
what?
snap, Jazzy. You know what happened? During the pandemic, them Trump gave niggas money. So
Mm,
think about it. During the pandemic, you really didn't need anything.
mm,
So it kind of even pushed church to the background because the president, the government was taking care of you,
mm,
which made you feel like if you're a Christian, Jesus was good during the pandemic,
mm,
better than he is when he ain't in the
mm.
pandemic.
I mean, actually, that was a
About it.
time for, you know what? If we look back at it, look how long ago that was. It don't. It seemed like it was just like recent, but it was actually years ago now. I mean, it came and it left so quick. But the thing about it is that melanated our people during that time, it was a time for us to really come up. You know, I mean, spiritually, financially, mentally. I mean, it really helped us in a sense because, I mean, besides the fear, what people had, you know, you got to wear your mask or, you know, you're going to die of COVID, this, that, or whatever. However, our people, I think, advanced a lot more during that time because of the money, because of the breaks, because, I mean, even
That's what I'm
as far,
saying.
yeah, it really helped us more than it did anything
More than what
else.
the church was doing. You couldn't go to church, but still your shit was getting taken care of. And I think a lot of people started thinking like, well, shit, church ain't all
Hmm.
that, nigga. I'm still getting taken care of. I ain't been to church in forever and shit's still going well. Think about
Hmm.
just the psychological effect.
Hmm. And see, that's why I said at this point in time, if you don't have no type of consciousness that's going on in your church community, it's kind of like you're gonna suffer because people not really going that like that anymore. And then people aren't afraid of the thing with the devil and you know what I'm saying, and the how they did it in the 70s, 80s. So it's everything is evolving, and it's just like it's been there. It's just that now we're becoming conscious to see it ourselves too. So
Yeah, to see it for ourselves.
Right. Well,
Well,
hey, we've been on here for an hour, 34
a
minutes.
good
You know,
piece.
yeah, and there was a lot of information, and then actually I have to go back and I because I like to be sharp on this. So, I mean, chapter 10 was, I think this might have been the best chapter I think that we've actually dove into so far. This one was definitely my favorite one. This one and the entropy those are
Oh,
the
centipede.
centropy and entropy. Those two were, I think, the ones that stand out the most to me out of so far. But
Well, what it
hey, I
is
can't
they
wait till
start to
next week.
accumulate. So when we get to certain chapters and your mind is hurted, your spirit, and now you're starting to put the shit together because all
Hmm.
it's doing is building off what we learned in the first chapter, first key.
Hmm.
It's a steady build to all 64. It's a one steady build.
Hmm. So, but Miss Visa, you have anything you want to say?
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Tonight at
No,
7.
I
Yeah.
just, when we talked about people getting into this, it will help if they get the book to help them walk through this process. Overstanding darkness book because, like I said, it's not like a beginner's book, but it does help for beginners to understand themselves on a level that is, like Panda says, is plain, is to the point. You'll get it.
Simple.
And but if somebody who wants to start out and get deeper into knowing themselves and get into a level of manifesting the reality, um, to live the life they always want to live, to be the person who they know they always are, getting the book is a very good step to begin that process. So I just want to say that. And meet me over on Culturally Speaking on Telegram at 7 p.m. with
7
Brother
p.m.
Legend, the Cipher. It's gonna be fun. That Jersey guy that you talked to him mental, so
Mhm.
it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be
Is
interesting.
that he was in the comments today, right? Was that him in the comments today,
No,
Mental?
that was Kilel.
Okay, I can't see the
Yeah, that was this one. Occult
That was
multiverse.
Kilel. Yeah, he was
okay.
Kilel. He was on with Brother Lean last night. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
he interviewed Brother Lean last night. Well, it's
Oh,
posted in the
okay.
group and us.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
check
on
it
his
out.
thing with him. He
Definitely.
did, and then now he's gonna do the numbers guy next. I can't think his name. Strahan.
Yeah, the one, yeah, I was on. I can't remember his name either.
Yeah, Strong or something like that. But he's a big. Hearing them two together and they both do the numbers, that's gonna be good. But yeah, he did Brother Aleem last night, and
Okay.
it was good to see Aleem, excuse me, see Aleem again.
Hmm.
Yep,
It's a
that's
sharp
what's
brother
up.
too.
Right,
So
like you.
Mental,
Go
you
ahead.
got anything?
No,
Get your book,
yeah.
Overstanding Darkness.
Overstanding darkness. Cosmic awareness will be coming soon, very soon.
Good,
Um,
good.
Oh,
so
maybe
things are
we'll do a
moving along.
maybe we do a pop up like we did last week. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was
That was
real good.
popping. Because I mean, the very next day, everything unfurled. I was just like, wow, we were just talking about this, and then boom, you know. I think I'm gonna start back doing my from Wednesday or Thursday until the weekend. Just fast from a lot of things because I still need to go ahead and get my heart, my mind to a certain point because I was looking at some of the things like what we was talking about last year at the end of last year, like November, December time and when I was actually saying like I'm gonna will a book to me next year, I'm gonna get a new
All that
job,
shit you
get a
got.
new vehicle. Listen, and that's why I said, you know what? That's why I know that I need to go ahead. I I, I can see what has now this is evidence, because at first it was unseen, so now we have the proof of everything that we talked about actually started happening. So it's
Mhm.
just the shaping and the energy, and the vibration that speaking things into existence and making things shaping your reality and making things happen. I'm a witness, and if you can actually go back and see, you know, some of the things where we are talking about certain things. And that's why I said, you know what, this thing really works. If you apply yourself and apply, you know, yourself to everything, it's been working, it's been moving, and I am grateful. But you know, and I want it to keep. So I want to make sure I'm rededicate myself every day to another level that you know that I can stay, you know,
All you
in
got to
this
do is
path.
keep it on your mind, brother. That's all you
Mhm,
got to do. You ain't got to do nothing spectacular, nothing outrageous. Keep that spirit, keep that higher evolution, keep the higher thoughts of different worlds and things, different multi-planets, multi-sun systems. Keep all that in your mind just working, and it just keeps the outlet open. You
mhm,
know what I'm saying? But it's
mhm,
always going to be there when you need it anyway.
mhm.
But I know what you're saying.
Just the practice. I just want to keep in the practice. You know what I mean?
Keep your mind
Hey,
in
it's
look,
just
everything is mental.
hey, it's just you're right.
That's what we keep
Hey,
talking. Everything is
you
mental. Keep
know,
your mind in the
hey,
right spot. You straight.
hey, and it's just the thing about building your muscles too. It's just like
Yes.
if you want to go to the
Transducers.
gym, you know what I'm saying. If you don't use certain things, you have muscle loss. So I want my
And
spiritual game to go ahead
apathy.
after.
Apathy. Yeah.
So I want my spirituality to have that spiritual muscles, you know, all the time. I want, hey, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. You know what I'm saying? So
I
that's the
stay on the
mentality.
plane, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Rarely do I.
yeah.
Even when I'm watching something, I'm still looking at shit like, ooh, okay.
Right,
You know,
right.
because you can always, when you're in the spirit, anything can be spiritual to you. A
Hmm,
blade of grass, just looking at grass, nigga, start having
hmm,
you going all the way through the whole grass and the roots, how it goes through the
hmm,
system, how it's connected to the planet, boom, 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 and you know
hmm,
it, you all off on a tangent.
hmm.
So it's all mental. Keep your
Yeah.
mind in the right space.
Hmm.
Everything else will follow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you ain't got to do nothing spectacular.
Free
Keep
your
your mind in the
mind.
right. Free your mind, and the rest will
That's
follow.
what follow. Hey.
Mind
So,
expansion. All right, Jazzy,
all right.
Miss
Hey, Miss
Visa.
Visa,
Thank you
appreciate
once
y'all.
again.
Hey, next weekend too.
Another great show.
Yeah, at
Mhm.
7.
Yeah,
7 o'clock
we're
tonight,
7
Miss
o'clock
Visa.
on Telegram.
I will be
Or
there.
culturally speaking, it's a
Yes.
culturally speaking on Telegram. So if you don't
Yeah.
have it, go download it. Look for culturally speaking. She has her show and it's live. It's gonna be
Yeah.
very
And
exciting.
then,
So
yep, then we'll have starting in August, it'll be The Professor.
The
So I already got the
professor.
flyer for that up. Yep.
okay,
So
All
see
right.
okay.
you on 7. Thanks for having me, guys.
All
Oh,
right. Y'all have a good one.
family.
Peace
So
and love, all my peoples.
peace.